Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going well. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I am super excited. I get to share with you one of the brand new items over the Spellbinder shop. This is the Botanical, let me see if I can say it right. This is the Botanical house, and it is so neat. It is a house that is a two-piece set. You put this bottom piece on the inside to create a 3D look, and then it also comes with some greenery. You get 5 leaf dies in different shapes and sizes, and one of those leaf dies though have 2 different size of the same leaf on there. So let's jump in. We are going to create some colorful leaves using different shades of green. I chose oxide inks. They seem to be my go-to inks these days, and I chose 4 different colors. I started with peeled paint, added shabby shutters. Now we're using cracked pistachio, and then we're going to throw in a little bit of the twisted citron, and just kind of creating a camouflage background. Kind of reminded me of camouflage, but this just makes it easy to create a different variant in color leaves all at the same time. And we're going to die cut out this entire panel and fill it until I can't die cut out any more leaves with it. And then I'm going to bring in some black fun foam. I use adhesive back fun foam, and I wanted a little dimension on my botanical house, and so I decided to use fun foam. I thought it'd be nice and easy. I'm going to also die cut out that same house with gold cardstock, and then also the second piece for the house with the gold cardstock. Once everything is die cut, you can see I have a piece of vellum here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the adhesive backing from my foam house here and add that to my vellum piece. Since it is adhesive back, that just sticks perfectly to that vellum. And I kind of let it just fall, because with the foam, sometimes it has a tendency to lose its shape. So when you just kind of drop it, it's more likely to go back in the original shape. So that's what I did there. I went ahead and trim around the excess. So now we have a vellum backed botanical house, and you can see those leaves through it. If I had a lighter weight vellum, I think it would look really nice to be able to see the leaves a little bit more, but I was still happy with the outcome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add glue on the main parts of my house here, just going around the edges and a few places in the middle, and then I'm going to adhere that on top of my foam. Some of the black peeks out, and as I was trying to adjust it, I thought, I kind of like the black and the gold kind of peeking out behind it. So I kind of left it. So it was a happy accident. I'm going to start off by adhering this piece directly on my foam, kind of creating that diamond shape, and I'm going to add my main house right on top. And I love the 3D look of this. Okay, sometimes the gold cardstock that I'm using is from a previous card kit, and so sometimes it takes a little while for it to adhere to that fun foam. I'm going to actually put an acrylic block on it eventually, but I want to create a background. So the nice thing about this house is the straight edges. You can just use your scissors and trim around it. I'm just going to create a background panel with white cardstock. Just set these pieces aside here, and then with that background panel, let's grab an acrylic block and put it on there to help secure that gold to the fun foam. Okay, now with my background, I'm going to go ahead and just randomly use glue and fill in this background with all of my different shapes and sizes of botanicals here. We're just going to fill in this entire background. I thought it'd be really pretty to have the vellum covering over it. I have a little bit of excess hanging over, so I'm just using my scissors to trim off, and then I had a little open spot, so I'm going to take this little piece and stick it down to the end there. That's the nice thing when you trim off the excess. Okay, so that's what it kind of doesn't look like much, but I love the look of it when you add the vellum on top. I'm going to go ahead and add glue behind here, just going around the edges. And then once we have our glue added, we're going to go ahead and add this to our background. At this point, if you wanted to throw in a few little sequins, I think that would be real pretty too. Okay, I grabbed my card base, which is a standard A2 size card base. I'm just reinforcing that score line at the top so it doesn't flap open. And then I have a piece of lemongrass cardstock. This is about a 3/4 inch strip. We're going to adhere this to the very bottom of our card base here. And then I have a piece of diagonal black and white stripe paper. That's about a 1 inch strip. I'm going to add that just above my lemongrass cardstock. Trim off the excess. We have a little bit on the other side here. I'll trim off. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to bring in a sentiment. The sentiment stamp set that I'm using is from Fun Stamper's Journey, and it's the Letterboard mini stamp set. There's lots of sentiments in here that you can customize, and I thought the Botanical house was just a nice and refreshing card. So I just chose the sentiment that says happy and every day. And they're blocked in black, and I like that. So I'm going to ink it up with my black licorice ink, stamp them on some white cardstock, and then just using my scissors, I'll trim around my sentiments, leaving a little bit of a border around it. Once they're trimmed out, I'll go ahead and add foam adhesive behind it. And then we'll take our greenhouse, and I have a little excess overhanging. I'm going to trim that off. And by the time I had all the layers together, it was a pretty thick little greenhouse. But I like the way that looks. It just looks like it's nice and filled with lots of botanicals. Okay, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and add foam squares behind it. Remove the release paper, and then we'll add this in the upper portion of our card base. Place it in the center. Lovely. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our or actually, you know what, let's bring in some black and white baker's twine. The twine that I'm using is called Licorice Twist, and it's from Fun Stamper's Journey. I'll link everything down below for you guys. But if you're looking for a nice black and white baker's twine, this is a great one. Okay, I'm going to add my sentiment. I did tie the bow to the left too, you can see there. But happy every day. And then finally, just to add a little extra splash of gold, I'm going to bring in some friendship sequins. These are just gold sequins, all the same size. I'm going to add 3 of them, 2 to the bottom of the botanical house, and then 1 to the very top. Just kind of add a little extra splash of gold. Then that completes my card for today, guys. This is such a neat die set, and it's brand new to the Spellbinder shop, and I'm so happy I get to play with it. But thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous day, and we will see you again real soon. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.